What's up everybody? Welcome back to another Shop Talk Tuesday. So if you're new to this video series, what it's all about is a commentary based type thing where y'all leave comments or ask questions and I answer those questions and talk about the comments, and then we go into kind of a behind the scenes thing, look at what's going on in the background, stuff that I won't have for my build videos that come out on Friday. And then I talk about what's going on in the build videos that are coming up for the next few Fridays, so you can get a little look at what we've got working. And then we go into where I talk about a tool that makes my life easier as a knife maker, and why I think that if you want to get into knife making, why you should get it, or maybe why you shouldn't get it at the beginning phase. The tools that I talk about at that part, none of them are sponsored, none of them are affiliated with my shop or anything like that. Just me showing you where to get them and what they do. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump into the comment section. Before we do that, I want y'all to know this might be a little longer video than normal for the Shop Talk Tuesdays, but it's because I've got the whole chopping wood with one of my knives in this video where I told y'all I was going to baton one of my knives through wood. I am doing that in this video, so that's why this video is a little bit longer than normal. But let's jump into the comment section real quick and hit one of the comments. It's by William Gonzalez. He asked me a few different questions in one comment. I'm going to post it right here. And basically it was about the cost of one of my knives, shipping to Mexico, which would be outside of the United States, and then about edge retention on one of my knife shapes, and how hard it would be or how hard it is to make a knife out of a file. So I'm going to hit on those real quick. For one, when it comes to my knife or my knives, their prices and stuff like that, all you have to do is just email me. I'm going to leave it right here, and it's going to be in the description below. Just email me if you want to see what it would cost to get one of the knives that I build on the videos, or if you want something kind of like them or something custom made, send me an email. I can talk to you about pricing, and we can talk about shipping as well. That's the other part of this. So when it comes to shipping inside the United States is really easy and really cheap when it comes to shipping a knife because they don't weigh that much. But when it comes to shipping outside the United States, different countries have different rules on things that they would consider weapons. So a knife, a handgun, or a firearm, stuff like that, those are considered weapons to them. They have different rules and regulations, so we would just have to see what the rules and regulations for your country is, and then how much it would cost to ship to that country. So I'm open to doing that. I'm open to shipping worldwide at the buyer's expense, but email me and we'll talk about that stuff. Now, when it comes to edge retention on my knives, now he asked whether the recurve helped the edge retention, and not so much. The recurve shape is not so much there for edge retention or keeping a sharp edge longer. Things that I say would really be the deciding factor on edge retention is going to be edge geometry, the type of steel used, the heat treating process, and what the knife is made for. So you wouldn't take a chef's knife out into the woods and use it as a camping knife, but you also wouldn't take a camping knife, put it in the kitchen, and use it as a chef's knife. They have different edge geometries. They're made for different things, made from different materials. So it's kind of, edge geometry matters a lot when it comes to how it's going to stay sharp, for what reasons. Plus, the type of materials you use and the heat treating process is a very huge factor. You can take a piece of hardenable steel and not do the heat treating process right, and you don't have a hardened knife. Each types of steel have different heat treating processes. You know, 1084 through 1095 is pretty similar, but whenever you start using like O1 tool steel or stainless steel or different things that have chromium and vanadium and different things like that in there, they take different processes. So you can't heat treat a piece of stainless the same as you would heat treat a piece of 1095. They don't work. And if you don't heat treat them right, they're not going to hold an edge because they're just going to be softer steel. they're going to look pretty, but it's not going to be meant to be used as a tool. So the hardening process or heat treating process and the type of material that you use play a huge factor into edge retention. You wouldn't think getting into knife making that you would have to learn things about metallurgy or other things like that, but you do. There is a lot of work that goes into making knives. A lot of that stuff is pretty boring, and we don't show that in our videos because it's not interesting. Some of y'all might think it's interesting, but there's a lot of people that don't. They just skip past that stuff. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff that goes into edge retention, not so much the shape of the knife, unless you're talking about edge geometry. And then also asked about making knives out of a file. Those, they do have their own type of thing where they're not as easy to work with, and they are easy to work with. It's kind of, you know, a give and take. If you're cool with using your angle grinder and taking your time and spraying the steel down a lot, yes, it is awesome for making knives because you can actually go through and you don't have to heat treat them. All you need to do is anneal them. So you can make the whole entire knife as long as you don't mess up the temper during your cutting process, and then do the shape, do the annealing process, and you got yourself a little knife. If you want to be a little bit gentler on your abrasives, you can cut out the shape, the rough shape, with an angle grinder, put it in your forge, anneal the hardness out of it, and then you can work it just like a regular piece of 1095 and heat treat it pretty much just like a piece of 1095. So yeah, I would say it's all about how you want to do it, and then also getting a good quality file, like a Nicholson file or a Simmons or something like that, made in the USA. That way you know that they're full hardened and not just case hardened. Case hardened just means that the cutting edge, so the pieces that actually look like a file, are hardened, but the full centerpiece is mild steel, and that centerpiece is what you get your edge out of. So you need to make sure that it's not case hardened. Moving on past that, hopefully for one that answered your question, William. And so let's go on to the next part. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the video right here of me actually chopping and batoning that knife through wood. And then over here on the side, I'm going to show you the knife that I batoned through the wood. So it's this one right here. You can actually see the actual little bit of markings and stuff like that from the wood going down the side of this, but it held up really well. The edge itself held up really well. I got a little deformation right here, but that's from where I was batoning it through, and it went all the way through and hit the concrete. So I actually have a cut in my concrete from the knife, but yeah, I'm gonna go through and resurface this and make it all smooth again because it is my own knife, but I wanted to see how much abuse I could put it through. And for one, I love that the handle, you can't even tell that I was beating on the top of this. It took all of that. That Paduk, that's a good wood. But so yeah, we had that, and hopefully y'all liked the whole me just hammering it through that. So we had that, and then when it comes to hammering, I actually had a few things that I did this weekend that involved that. So I actually forged out this right here. So this was the top part of this monkey wrench right here. This upper piece was the jaws that came down on the top of this. But yeah, that turned out really cool. I actually still have all the writing on the inside of there, but that turned out pretty awesome and heat treated really well. So that's another cool little one that I did. I'm going to show a picture right here of it actually, the way it looked whenever I forged it out. I did forge the bevels into it and things like that. And then I'm going to show another video right here of me actually hammering it out. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed doing this. I'm getting more into the forging aspects of them and trying to do as much of that as I can, as well as doing the stock removal. But yeah, that was fun. Another one that I made out of a tool was this right here. This is out of a crescent wrench. This was a blast to make. Really unique looking. It's actually got my maker's mark on there. This is one of my first ones that I'm doing. I'm going to go through a few different styles of maker marks before I end up landing on the exact one I want, but that's already finished and sharpened and everything too. It's pretty cool. I think that design looks really cool. The whole shape there. So we got that done, and then those are the things that I have going on in the background. Those aren't going to be in videos. What I do have going on in videos is going to be things like this right here. This is one of my file knives that I'm making. This is the Rivolette, but in that, this is over 1/4 inch thick. This is some thick stuff. You could just take this as a knife and not even need to put scales on it, but I am going to put handle scales on it because the customer wants them. But yeah, that's going to be absolutely beautiful. See if you can see anything on it. The Nicholson files right here. Well, here, let's see if you can see that. It doesn't like to zoom in on there, but yeah, this is a Nicholson file. This is a pretty old file. But yeah, y'all have that in a video. Y'all will also have this right here in a video. So I'm doing another one of these where I'm actually forging this out. This is going to be quite a bit bigger knife, but I'm going to be doing that, and y'all will get to see it. It'll almost be like a mini sword. But we got that going on. Plus, I've got this coming out. The video that's coming out on Friday is of this knife right here. So of course this isn't the knife. This is just a template. But this knife is coming out on Friday, so y'all be looking forward to that. It's a beautiful knife. I absolutely love the way it turned out. So y'all are gonna enjoy that, hopefully. And then a few of the things that I've got going in the background. I didn't get to show y'all this yet, but I've got a collab that I'm doing with the local person that makes knives. He actually started this right here. It's just a really big kukri out of a wrench. He's the one that kind of got me on this kick of doing these different knives out of tools, because he makes a lot of these, and I really like them. I'm just working on the shape with him and things like that, and edge. But this is absolutely cool. If you just go from there, it pretty much just looks like a knife. But then you add that whole thing into it. But yeah, so we got that in the works, and we might end up doing some of that stuff on here for y'all to watch. But that's pretty much what we have going on right now. The tool that I want to talk to y'all about is actually right over here. So I know that not many of y'all think about getting a drill press. You know, a lot of people are perfectly fine with sticking with their hand drills and stuff like that, but having a good drill press is just amazing. And good is in the eye of the beholder. This is just a central machinery from Harbor Freight, and it does its job just perfectly fine. This is something that is going to make your life a lot easier when it comes to doing your pinholes and just doing a bunch of things that you wouldn't even think about with a drill press. So, like, I have an oscillating spindle sander, also known as just a spindle sander or a drum sander. You can get those attachments for your drill press and use this to do the like the finger wells that I make for the knives. Things like shaping inside here, right there, shaping there and shaping here. It's a lot easier whenever you have those little spindle or drum sanders, and you can glue those attachments onto this, plus the buffing wheels. I mean, this is a multi-purpose tool. Being able to buff your knives, use those spindle sanders and stuff like that on here, just it makes your life so much easier. Think about investing in one of these. The ones from Harbor Freight are not that expensive. I'm going to leave a link for them in the description below. Go check them out. Like I said, not affiliated with Harbor Freight or anything like that. This is just something that I think that you would benefit from if you're wanting to get into knife making. You can get one of these and then get 1x30 and a belt sander and start with pretty much that and an angle grinder, and boom, you can make all kinds of knives, make all kinds of things. Get these, basically these three things that are right here. So this 1x30 belt grinder, this drill press, this angle grinder, and you can make all kinds of knives with just these, and they will make your life so much easier. You can get all the different belts. This is everything from a 40 grit all the way to a 1000 grit, and then stropping belts. And you can get resurfacing belts. Basically, they look like Brillo pads. You can get your leather stropping belts. You can get everything for the 1x30 that you can get for the 2x72, the 2x48, all those different things. So, and to give you an idea, pretty much all of this came from Harbor Freight. Now, this is an angle grinder from Lowe's. It's a Matabo. It used to be Hitachi or whatever, but the belt sander and the drill press, Harbor Freight, scoop them up, make some knives. And guys, if you're thinking about getting into knife making and you make a knife, you should send me a picture of it so that I can actually know what you make. Tell me a little about yourself. Tell me what you made the knife out of. Send it to the email down below. Again, I'm going to post it right here. Send me a picture of knives that you started making. Even if they're the most rudimentary knife ever. Dude, send it to me. I want to be able to see it. I want to be able to communicate with y'all. But, hey, if y'all haven't yet, let's go ahead, give this video a thumbs up. Share this video or a video that I've done in the past. And, you know, maybe go down here, hit that subscribe button. And if y'all would, man, just think about going out there and creating something, whatever it is. Just try and create something. And I would actually prefer y'all to send me a picture of that too. Doesn't even have to be a knife. If you just make something, whether it be a grill or a fire pit or a workbench or whatever, a table, I don't care. Send me a picture of it, because I might go ahead and start throwing those in these videos as well, because it's Shop Talk Tuesday. It's not just Knife Talk Tuesday. So, guys, with that being said, that's the end of this one. I'm happy y'all stopped by. Hopefully y'all watched this whole thing, because if you did, you will know that we hit our 150 subscriber mark, and I'm going to be doing the giveaway. I'm going to tell you about the giveaway next video, so next Shop Talk Tuesday. It'll only be people that watch these videos and watch them all the way through. If you've watched this all the way through, go down in the comment section and say that you're going to be in on the giveaway. I'll tell you more about that next Shop Talk Tuesday, but if you want to be in on the knife giveaway, because you're going to get a knife, whoever wins the giveaway, tell me about it, comment section. Guys, y'all have an amazing day. I'll catch y'all next time.